Let's do an overview of the means and modes of transportation for getting around Vietnam. Listen, Vietnam is going somewhere fast or slow or sideways, depending on how you choose to ride it. If you're traveling here, you're not just passing through it, you're part of it. There's more than one way to ride the rhythm of this place, but the question is, how? So let's start with the obvious, motorbikes. They're not just a means of transportation here, they are a way of life. I've been told there's over 60 million of them on the road, but I would wager there's more than that. It's loud, it's chaotic, and somehow it works. You can rent one for $4 to $10 US per day. You can even rent one to travel the whole country. You can buy a used one for a few $100s and a new one for around $5,000. Technically, an international driving permit is required, but technically it's also not recognized by the Vietnamese government. So you really are taking the risk into your own hands by doing this. Speaking of risk, always wear a helmet. Now, if you want to move like a local without actually driving like one, Grab, the app, is your best friend. It's Vietnam's version of Uber or Lyft. It's cheap, reliable, there's no need to haggle. It's easiest to use if you set up your credit card information before using your app for the first time. Now, I've learned to double check my destinations with the address and PIN location against Google Maps or whatever map you use on your smartphone. Pricing of rides surges during rush hour traffic and when the weather goes bad. So you can choose to ride on the back of a motorbike or in a car for a little more, and you can even have food delivered. Both Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi have working public city bus networks. Phone maps have proven perfectly accurate in my experience. It's only underestimated the fare a couple of times, but when a crosstown trip costs anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 dong, that's never really been a problem. The buses are basic. Think plastic seats, handwritten signs, and ticket fare collectors with fanny packs full of change. But they get the job done. Most travelers never even touch the bus system here, and it's not because it doesn't work, it's just because it's not marketed, and maybe that's a shame. So when I'm in Saigon or Hanoi, before committing to a Grab ride, I will always check to see if the bus can pick me up close to where I'm at and drop me off close to where I'm going, because it's much cheaper. Vietnam's train rail network, it's not fast, but for you and me, that's the point. It's about the journey. Book tickets at the station counter, the e-kiosk in the station, or in a pinch, you can do it online over Vietnam Railway, Bao Lao, 12 Go Asia, or Bookaway. I've learned to go to the station to determine which car, which seat, which class I'm sitting in, and hopefully get the best spot for a scenic ride. You may not get the choice of seat if you're booking online. Traveling from Saigon to Hanoi, or vice versa, is a 35-hour ride. And a 4-bed berth, or a bed in one of the 4-bed cabins, costs $93 US at the time I'm recording this, just for reference. Now, if you're on a limited travel timeline, domestic flights are quick. Sometimes they're cheaper than you'd expect, both domestically within Vietnam, but also within Southeast Asia. Use Skyscanner and in Google Travel the Explore mode to zero in on your best or cheapest route. Know that checked baggage can be costly, relatively speaking, and the carry-on limits can be strict. Be sure you're booking early during holiday seasons, which in Vietnam are very frequent. Then there's the metro. Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon and Hanoi have both finally opened the first legs of their respective metro lines in 2024. Right now, there's limited stations, limited lines, and it's not yet well connected, but it's a necessary start. So in summary, transportation in Vietnam is a choose-your-own-adventure story. There is no perfect plan, despite what anybody will tell you. There's just you, some of your instincts, and whatever's moving nearby. It is a little chaotic, it is a little random, but don't try to tame it or master it. You just learn its rhythm and your own preferences within it. Eventually it starts to make sense. So don't worry too much about how to get around, just get moving. That is the adventure. Now this is a sleeper bus. I'm 5'9", 175 centimeters. It's still kind of a tight squeeze for me. But you can see, this is a much better option when you're doing 10, 12, 16-hour legs. So the bus is full, of all these sleeper compartments. And they all have individual windows. They have blinds. So you can take your little nap. Oh yeah. Now, this isn't a VIP sleeper bus, which would have a WC, a toilet on board. But there's plenty of room. Like, my big bags go down beneath. And then you got room, you know, for your small backpack, a snack. And they make you take your shoes off before you come in, because it's like, these are pretty fancy. I'm telling you, they're a little more expensive, but this is the way to go. You can just sleep. So I'm on a 10-hour bus trip. Well, just at the beginning, and I'm one of the first people picked up, so it's a perfect chance to tell you all about it. And they have 2 stories. So, see, and little stairs. Oh, there's your stairs. Getting this bus ticket through my hostel, which is actually like a hotel or a homestay, it was cheaper than booking anything online. That doesn't happen all that often, but it happened in this case, which is just a no-brainer because they picked me up right at the front doorstep. I barely even had to move. That's the way to go, really, unless you find a huge price difference between the online bookings or a travel agency, and sometimes it's not worth all the effort to shop that out. All right, so here are some considerations for you as you are using this sleeper bus mode of travel. As you can see, I can almost sit up completely, but I can't lay down completely. And nobody would accuse me of being tall. I'm 5'9", 175 centimeters, and I can't lay all the way out. So the thing about this bus ride, you're on these 10, 12, 16-hour rides, and while it's mostly comfortable laying here, the bus is like swerving, like accelerator brake, and they're honking the horn, and they're stopping all the time to load and unload cargo. So that's one thing to deal with when it's daytime and you would be drifting in and out of sleep anyway, just kind of napping. But in the nighttime, if you're thinking you're going to cheat the system and get a good night's sleep and not pay for lodging, you're in for a surprise. Okay, so that said, I pick doing the day-long sleeper buses when they're available as opposed to the nighttime ones. Bathroom and food breaks, but also the sleep issue. Okay, so what am I talking about? Here's the thing, on these long trips, they usually have a few bathroom stops and at least one food stop, like a real food stop for 20 minutes or so, somewhere in there. And in the daytime, because you can see what's going on around you, you know when you're there, and you wake up easily enough that you don't miss those stops. At nighttime, you're so disoriented, and I've never been on one of these where the crew speaks English and I don't speak Vietnamese. So what can happen is most people will sleep through stuff or fall asleep at the wrong time and miss the bathroom stop if they're not careful, and you don't understand when they're yelling up and down anyway. So I like to be able to watch Vietnam go by and not miss those bathroom and food stops. When you're doing this at night, it kind of becomes a different animal, but you usually arrive at your destination, very early in the morning, so you're just totally exhausted when you get there. So what I recommend as a remedy to keep yourself out of trouble is just reserve your lodging accommodations the night before, going into your arrival morning. Send a message to your hostel or hotel or whatever saying, hey, I'll be in town about this time. Can you have somebody at the desk to give me a key at that time? And I've never heard of a case where they won't make arrangements to do that, even though most places have some kind of 24-hour service anyway. But if I'm going to lay it all the way down, check this out. I have to turn my feet to the side. I can't, right? Or put them up. Or, I can go completely diagonally. Now, the Vietnamese government just passed an authorization to spend somewhere in the neighborhood of $67 billion on a new high-speed railway. So in honor of that bill going through that's going to revolutionize travel throughout this country, I thought we might as well take a trip on the old railways and see what that's like. I came yesterday to recon and make sure I knew what I was doing. It's been a circus in here today, so I'm really glad I got my seat tied down. Outside, you have snack bars and there's a sandwich shop over there, which is true of most train stations everywhere. One detail to note on the board is that the odd-numbered trains travel southbound and the even-numbered trains travel northbound. They don't let you out on the platform until the train is here. But there's a sign right out front that tells you exactly what the cars are ordered by number, and you're gonna notice right as I walk by, there's number signs on the side of the cars. So you just find your car. You are assigned a car number and a seat number. So you have several options on the train. You can get a bed in a sleeper car. This is a 4-bed car. These mattresses, they're really firm feeling. For an overnight, it would be nice to stretch out. There is cargo space up above that you could put your bags and a little bit of room down below the bottom bunk. So there's a corridor. You can watch the world go by. Some of these even have windows that come down that you can watch. You have sinks, there's toilets. On every car, your toilet, you know, it's not the fanciest thing in the world, but whatever. We're moving through the Hai Van Pass right now. Some people do it on a motorbike. Number one, it's incredibly beautiful. This scenery is stunning. But number two, it's really dangerous. Well, with the weather right now in the wet season, I was not interested in trying my luck on a motorbike. So instead, we decided on the train ride, and I'm really happy with it. So as you can see there, there's 6-bed sleeper cars. Those are a little less expensive, but it's gonna be a little more crowded in there. So it just depends on what you want, how many people you're traveling with. What I did is just get a seat on the soft seat car. So this seat cost me 141,000 dong, which is $5.64. Not bad for a 3-hour train ride. So unfortunately, my seat is facing the opposite direction of travel. So I was getting a little bit sick to my stomach trying to watch the world go by. I decided it was time to walk around and show you the lay of the land so you know what your options are. You can buy your ticket at the train station, which I did because I'm so insistent. Oh, look at this. Look at what we found. We found a snack car. How amazing. What luck do we have today? Oh, this is great news. So you won't starve if you forgot something to eat or drink. I bought my ticket at the train station because I'm so neurotic about doing a reconnaissance ahead of time anyway, and that worked out pretty well for me. But you can also buy the ticket ahead of time on 1-2-go. Its screening and searching tools are kind of blunt instruments. Book Away gives you a much better precision tool for times and time windows you want to leave at, amenities in your mode of travel. So just know that as you're searching. You can buy it both ways, in person at the station or on a website. Okay, so behind me, you're seeing all these guys trying to hustle you for a taxi ride. And that happens at every bus station, train station, airport, everywhere you go. Some of them are so clever, they'll even have a grab jacket on and have a grab screen up on their phone saying, grab. And you'll be ready to push reserve on a ride. And they'll look at it and they say, yeah, you know, and they point at the price you see on your screen, like trying to stop you from reserving. And then you get going and get to where you're at, and then suddenly they're demanding like, you know, twice what that price had said. And you're like, wait, you just got hustled. So use Grab once you reserve the price, the fare. That's it. It's locked in. It's not negotiable. As always, there's like snack people, snack vendors inside. There's restaurants outside. So the ride took about 3 hours. Along the way, the people that were in the snack car came rolling through with the carts, and it was all like steamed, hot, fresh ears of corn and then steamed in banana leaves, like a sausage or a hot dog, and the 2 baguettes that had like a pate in them. The total for me to have hot, fresh food was 55,000 dong. That's a little over $2 US. But I'm here in Hanoi, the capital city of Vietnam, where I just rode 2 stops on their brand new metro lines. They have 2 lines open, and over the next 20 years, they're going to be opening 13 or 14 lines in excess of 650 kilometers, right? So, I mean, this thing, it's not getting a lot of use yet because it doesn't cover the whole city. But I'm telling you, this thing is fast, it's smooth, it's clean, it's a beautiful setup. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Vietnam. Brand new lines. When I got here 3 months ago in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, they still hadn't opened up a single line, but less than a week ago, they opened their first line. Similarly ambitious plans for them in the future. So those 2 big cities in Vietnam on the north side and the south side, this has the potential to completely revolutionize how they move their people in and around the city, reduce some of the noise, reduce some of the congestion. So right now, as a Westerner, I wouldn't really pick one of those to stay long term. It's just too much. But by 2045, I think this equation changes completely. Not to mention the fact that by that time, they will have finished the $67 billion high-speed railway connecting the north end and the south end of the country. Exciting things coming in the future for Vietnam. So stay tuned.